A VPN, short for Virtual Private Network, is a privacy protection tool that is quickly becoming a must-have. But why do you need a VPN, and how does it work in the first place? A VPN helps your data travel through the internet safely, without big companies or cybercriminals being able to spy on your online activities. Also, a VPN swaps the real location of your device with a new one. This way, you can virtually travel to any country around the globe. So, who can benefit from a VPN? If you're worried about your online privacy, a VPN makes sure your identity and private information are not exposed when you go online. If digital security is your top priority, a VPN gives a nice additional layer of security. It encrypts your data so nobody could see what you send and receive. If you are a human rights activist whose freedom of speech is restricted, a VPN helps you to bypass censorship and speak to the world. Or, if you're on holiday in another country, with a VPN, you can bring your home entertainment anywhere you go. Here's a pro tip. Check out Surfshark VPN. It has everything you need in a premium VPN, awesome speeds, and industry-leading protection that covers all of your devices. All you have to do is click Connect. Secure your digital life and enjoy everything good that the internet has to offer with a VPN you can trust.
Click link in the description and get 81% discount for your first order. Part 1 of 3, Researching Brochures. Find some samples. Begin by looking at samples of other brochures. This can be easily done online, but you can pay attention to brochures handed to you at business conferences as well. When browsing brochures, try to play the role of the customer and make note of the brochures that are most appealing. You may ask yourself a number of questions. Does this brochure look good? Does it tell me what I need to know? Does it catch my eye immediately? What works with this brochure and what does not? On the other hand, ask, why is this a bad brochure? Brochure, 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 brochure. Search for a quality software program or web-based creator. There are a number of programs available to assist in designing brochures. Quark Express and Adobe InDesign are highly regarded, but there are many other desktop programs that will help to create a professional brochure. Page Plus is a less expensive alternative, for example. Web-based programs are also available, and these allow you to make a brochure without purchasing your own software. My Creative Shop is a popular web-based choice. Before purchasing expensive desktop software, be sure the program has a function for brochure design. Try experimenting with your new program. Learn its functions and spend time playing with the different features. Also, search the web for video tutorials for the program. Web-based design is a good alternative, but note that there typically charges for using a template, printing and shipping. Consider if you want to use a template, and narrow down which template is for you. A template is a mold that you can follow when you make your own professional brochure. Once you have your software or web-based program, begin to identify which template appeals to you and fits your business. Think back to when you were finding samples. The advantage of selecting a template is that it will allow you to plug your information into a brochure that you know will have the professional look you want. You do not have to use a template, and can create your own for a personal touch if you chose. If you decide to use a template, you may want to avoid standard templates from brochure building programs that may be overused. Be sure to conduct a thorough search to find the best template for you. Part 2 of 3, Creating and Designing Your Brochure. Have a brainstorming session to begin. Think back to the samples that caught your attention and consider how you could build a brochure in a similar style. Think about what information you want to share and how. Professionals suggest that you include a good headline, include standard information about your business rather than complex details, avoid using jargon or big words, and think about including a discount with the brochure to grab people's attention. This will help you create a professional brochure that reflects both you and your business. Keep in mind that people do not always read brochures in their entirety. Instead, they focus on bold sentences and quick facts. Brainstorm some catchy and important headlines that will be important to your customers. Think of how to make your brochure attention-grabbing, how to keep the customer's interest in your text, and how to make your customers want to buy your product or service. Put yourself in your customer's shoes. Sell your product to your customer in your brochure. Don't just tell them about it. Tell your customer how you help them. Select clear, readable text and language. Avoid using text that is small and hard to read. Using size 14 or larger is a good rule to follow. Also, use larger fonts for headings and subheadings to distinguish them from other information. You should avoid industry jargon and being excessively wordy about unimportant topics. Instead, use clear language that every potential customer can understand and get right to the point. This will help your brochure be user-friendly and approachable. For example, don't spend 2 pages covering your history and only 1 talking about your available services. Keep it simple. The design should be as simple as possible, and you should avoid making the brochure look too busy. Too busy. Too busy. Too busy. Too busy. Remember the rule of 3. Be sure not to use any more text or images than you need to use to communicate with your customers. Avoid using patterned backdrops, as this will create a confusing brochure that customers will have difficulty focusing on. In general, try to create a clean, modern look. Decide on colors, usually 4 or less. This is largely a personal decision, but it is important that you use colors that are easy on the customer's eyes while also being appealing. Think about selecting colors that match your business, perhaps the colors in your logo. The colors you select should be high contrast, with a light background and a dark text that makes the brochure easy to read. Also consider using bright accent colors for borders or shading so that the brochure stands out. If you do not have a logo, use colors that match the pictures included in your brochure. If you are using images, avoid very detailed images and do not use too many. They can be expensive to print and harsh on a customer's eyes. Part 3 of 3, producing your brochure. Avoid printing at home. Once you have researched and designed your brochure, you should find a local print shop that will be able to print your brochure. It is not recommended to print your brochures on a home printer, as they are typically low quality and will not print at high resolution. The print shop will have higher quality printers and paper to give your brochure a professional look. Explore your options at the print shop. When you go to a professional printer, be sure to ask what options they have. Choose a high-quality paper that looks crisp and clean. Think about having a glossy finish that will give your brochure a slick, high-class look. You can think about a non-traditional brochure for a unique and professional look. It is possible to have a tri-fold brochure with the tops of the pages at different heights, or a bifold with a rounded backside. The possibilities are endless. Communicate constantly with your printer. If you want the final product to come out looking amazing, the best idea is to be talking constantly with your printer. They'll have experience and be able to advise you. Make sure that you talk to them at the beginning so that they will be able to see your vision.